So the time is finally here. Now, when the iPhone 17 Pro was first released, a lot of people were raving about that camera system, the ability to take them 8x telephoto photos without actually losing a lot of detail seems to be on a lot of people's priority. Let's see how that holds up to the Oppo Find X9 Pro and its camera system. Now, this seems to be quite a popular comparison, judging by online, especially the YouTube community poll I put out, asking people which they think is actually going to be the winner. The vast majority of people out there actually voted for the Oppo Find X9 Pro beating the iPhone 17 Pro when it comes to camera quality, which we are going to find out in this video. Now, of course, on the iPhone 17 Pro, we've got a triple camera system, which is 48 megapixels all the way around, so the ultra wide, the main, and the telephoto. And then when it comes to the Oppo Find X9 Pro, we've got a 50 megapixel main, 50 megapixel ultra wide, and a 200 megapixel periscope telephoto lens. Also, just under there, we've got a tiny little sensor camera that is a true color camera, and that's main priority is just getting the perfect color accuracy, or as perfect as it can get. Now, before we actually get into the video, a like and a subscribe would go a very long way. In this video, what I'm going to go through for both of these devices is daylight photos, front camera, and the rear ultra-wide main and telephoto lens. We're going to go through portrait photos on the rear lens and the selfie camera. We're going to do low light photos to see what these phones are capable in a low light environment. Video footage, both on the front camera and the rear camera. And in that video footage, I'll be switching between the two different microphones so you can see what the microphones are actually capable of. I'll do some log footage of the video. I'll show you what it's like ungraded, and then I'll show you what it's like after it's color graded so you can see what the possibilities are. Now, I thought it would be a little bit of a fun game if for the first couple of seconds of each photo or video, I'm going to leave them unlabeled, and I want you to guess which one you think took which photo or video, and then either memorize it, write it down, or let me know in the comments box below what you thought on each one. And we'll see at the end how many you actually got right. It's going to be quite interesting to see if people can see the difference between the iPhone and the Oppo. And then after a couple of seconds, I'll actually label on screen to tell you which one took which, so you'll know what one is the correct answer. And also at the end, I will be doing a special segment on the telephoto converter kit because it is pretty fun to use, and I managed to catch something very cool, which I think you'll really like. So make sure to stick around to the end to see the telephoto converter kit, because of course it won't be a fair comparison. The iPhone doesn't have that. So it's going to be a solo telephoto converter kit at the end for the Oppo Find X9 Pro. Now, chapters will be below. It's going to be a pretty long video, so if you want to skip, by all means. If you want to watch it all, I appreciate it. So let's get into the video. So before we get into the actual video, I know something a lot of people are interested in is the different types of modes you have in the Oppo Find X9's camera app. So I'll briefly go over that. Starting with the master mode on the left, this is for photos. So you've got full manual controls of the focus, the ISO, white balance, the shutter speed and stuff like that. Then you've got JPEG, JPEG Max, RAW or RAW Max options at the top. So you've got full control over what you want to do when it comes to photos. Then we're going to video mode. So this is like your auto video mode. You still have options, for example, if you want ultra steady on, which does crop in, if you want Dolby Vision HDR, and then if you want 1080p 720, 30 FPS 60, or 120 FPS footage. Of course, then you can also select the different lenses that are on the phone. Same goes for photo mode. You get the option between what kind of aspect ratio you want, different kinds of settings, timer, the different telephoto lenses, and if you want flash and stuff like that. Portrait mode as well. So you can take up to 3.6x when it comes to portrait mode, and that is, as far as I'm aware, the max. You can change the depth of field all the way up to f16 and all the way down to f1.4, which I think is the native one for the actual main camera. After that, we've got Hasselblad high-res mode. So this allows you to take 200 megapixel photos using the periscope telephoto on the lens on the back, or you can take 50 megapixel photos using the 0.6x, the 1, or even the 3x photo. You have the choice to choose yourself. Then when we go on more, we've got some of the more basic ones. You've got night mode, panoramic photo mode, pro video mode. So same as the manual controls for photo, this gives you full control over the actual video system. So you can shoot log footage. You can choose between 4K, 24, 30, 60, 120 FPS. And then when you do choose log footage, you can choose to have the LUT applied to know what kind of color settings you get, general baseline, or you can completely have the LUT off and just have that dull color. You've got an audio monitor up there, You can choose to have anti-shake on or off. And then you've got the different lenses and the different manual controls. Going further on, we've got slow mode, time lapse, long exposure, dual video mode, which allows you to see the front camera and the rear camera at the same time. You can change the layout, so you can have it 50-50 split. You can have it as a bubble or as a rectangle, and you can move it around the screen as you wish. And then we've got underwater mode, sticker mode, and then the basic ones: text scanner, document scanner, expand mode, which I'll show some photos on the screen now. It's pretty cool because it gives you this ultra wide image, which is similar to panorama, but instead of having to move the phone, you can take it in one photo. And then we've got Hasselblad TeleConverter mode, which, as you can see, the image is flipped. This is only really usable when you have the telephoto converter on, and it allows you to go 10x, 20x, and 40x. So that was all the modes. Now let's get into the actual comparison. So we're recording selfie footage on both cameras. Now they're shooting at 4K 30, and I'm doing it while walking because I figured it will give a good understanding of what the stabilization is like on both phones. That's why I'm looking down, because the actual surface is not that even. Now the Oppo's got a 50 megapixel front camera, whereas the iPhone has an 80 megapixel center stage camera. So let me know which one you would pick. Which one do you think gives a better footage for 4K 30 on the front camera? And now that I'm on this straight section, I'll do a little bit of running just to test out the stabilization a little bit more. So in 3, 2, 1. And now we're running, or should I say jogging. And there we go. Let me know what you think down below. Now I'm shooting 4K 30 on both of the rear cameras. So like I said, the Oppo has got two 50 megapixel cameras and one 200 megapixel camera, and the iPhone has got triple 48 megapixel cameras. But they're both capable of shooting 4K 60, I believe 4K 120, I know the Oppo is. And I'll be switching the microphone between the two devices so you can get an understanding of what the microphone is capable of actually picking up. I mean, at the end of the day, these are both flagships, so neither is going to be a bad result. But it's going to be interesting to see which one people prefer the most. And here I guess we can do a little bit of running just to test out that stabilization a little bit more. Neither phone have any action mode or anything enabled. There we go. Now it's time to have some fun with that telephoto converter on the Oppo. Of course, the iPhone doesn't have this, but I figured let me show you some of the results you can get with this converter and that extended optical zoom. It can be pretty fun. And now we're back shooting on the front-facing cameras of both of the devices just to finish the video off. Going through all the pictures, videos I've took, I am kind of more swayed towards the Oppo phone, but everything's a personal preference. I personally like the colors that come out of the Oppo pictures, but some people are more swayed towards the iPhone's more toned down look when it comes to pictures. Now, although the Oppo pictures do look more vibrant and stuff like that, I can say that they aren't pushed beyond the limits. I mean, when you're here taking an extra picture, it kind of does look like how it looks in real life. So it's definitely true to life, and I think that's probably due to that true color sensor on the back. Is it always perfect? No, but neither is the iPhone. Now, I would say if you're planning to get the Oppo and you are into photography, I would highly recommend getting that telephoto attachment. It is super fun, especially getting that further optical zoom. You're definitely going to be using it for certain scenarios like going to concerts, or if you like to do a lot of wildlife photography and stuff like that, it comes in handy quite a bit. Obviously, the iPhone doesn't have anything like that. But let me know in the comments box below, which phone did you prefer and why? And let's see which one kind of wins the vote out of all the people. Now, if you have any questions, let me know down in the comments box below. If you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Subscribe to the channel, like the video, and if you get the option to hype the video, do that as well. It would be greatly appreciated. Now, as always, I appreciate you watching. I appreciate your support. We just surpassed 25k subscribers, and let's see how far we can get by the end of the year. So I'll catch you on the next one, and have a great day.